Hi guys, welcome to your everyday math lesson. For our lesson today is going to be lesson 5.5. So for our lesson today, we're going to be working on probably one of my favorite lessons. It's all about using fraction of problems. So one of the things we learned back in Unit 2, Unit 3, and Unit 4, we worked on the word of. We talked about the word of. Of in math means multiply. This is probably going to be the easiest lesson that I teach because this is probably one of the easiest ones to do. So we're going to work today on multiplying fractions, fraction of problems. So what's going to happen is we're going to start working on a little bit of this. We're going to do a little bit of practice things with it, and then you're going to do some of the assignment on your own. All right. So when I think of a fraction of problem, the fraction of problems that we're going to work on, sorry, don't mind me getting my stuff and getting ready. A fraction of problem means multiply. So if I take half of 6, I know that of means multiply. So basically I take that word of, make it into a multiplication symbol, and put my 6 over 1. Looks pretty familiar, doesn't it? We've done this before. So you then multiply straight across. 6 times 1 is 6. 1 times 2 is 2. And then I would rename that. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So half of 6 is 3. Pretty easy, right? Now, we've done this before enough to where you also should remember, you might remember my hint. So if I say maybe 1/5 of 20. Remember, you multiply against the top and you divide by the bottom. So 20 times 1 divided by 5. 20 times 1 is 20, divided by 5 is 4. That's how you do this. Again, we've done it. We've practiced this. So this is a little bit of a review. Multiplying fractions, to me, is probably one of the easiest things that you're ever going to do math-wise. Literally, you multiply straight across. And then you rename if you have to. Okay? So we're going to go through this lesson. It's going to be super quick today. Make sure that you're following along. We are in our Everyday Math Journal for student volume number 2, page 167, lesson 5.5. Here we go. So fraction of problems. So my rule, we've seen these before. These are our little math machines where you have a rule and then you have to figure out your answer. So we have an in number and an out number. So basically my in number is 10. So I need to find 1/5 of 10. Again, multiply by the top, divide by the bottom. 10 times 1 divided by 5. What is 10 times 1 divided by 5? All right, 10 times 1 is 10, divided by 5 is 2. That means that if I take 10 pieces and I'm splitting it between 5 people, each person would get 2 pieces. Does that make sense? It's kind of just doing division. It does get tricky when we have it like this, so that's why I wanted to show you the way that I did. All right, 25, let's do the next one. 25 times 1 divided by 5. 5. I want you to see if you can find the next one on your own. What is 1/5 of 15? 1/5 of 15. 15 times 1, 15, divided by 5 is 3. Try the next one on your own. What would you put in the chart for the next problem? You're going to multiply by the top. 30 times 1 is 30, divided by 5 is 6. If you said 6 goes in there, you are absolutely correct. Good job. Now, the reason why I said to do this one first, and it's going to help you, multiply by the top, divide by the bottom. This is 1/5. This one is super easy. But beware. The next one is different. I want you to take a minute and I want you to look at the two problems and see if you can figure out what is different between problem in number 1 and the problem in number 2. What do you notice? Well, what I notice is my numerator is higher. My numerator in problem 1 is 1. My numerator in problem 2 is 3. That means that I'm still going to do the same process. I'm still going to multiply by the top, divide by the bottom. But now let's look at our answers. Maybe that's what you noticed. Maybe you noticed that 2 times 3 would equal 6. 5 times 3 equals 15. Maybe that's what you noticed. You noticed that these answers are these times 3, and you would be right. What you need to do when you're doing these problems is really pay attention to what numbers are in your actual fraction. Make sure that you are multiplying by the top number and dividing by the bottom number, doing every step. All right? Let's look at number 3. You're going to fill in the missing numbers. So we're going to do 2/3 of numbers. All right? So 2/3. So 2 times 9, 18, divided by 3 is 6. Now, here's my hint. Remember, you don't have to do it in that order every time. As long as you multiply by the top and divide by the bottom, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to do it the opposite this time. I'm going to do 24 divided by 3. 24 divided by 3 is 8 times my top, which is 2. 8 times 2 is 16. Sometimes that's going to be easier. Okay? Let's try the next one, 12. 12 times 2 is 24. Divided by 3 is 8. See if you can do the next one on your own. What is 2/3 of 6? Remember, multiply by the top, divide by the bottom. 6 times 2 is 12. Divided by 3 is 4. So 2/3 of 6 would be 4. Let's try the next bottom. We're doing 3/4 times. Guys, remember my hint. The word of means times. So this is the same exact process. Don't let it confuse you. Whether the author of the problem or if I give you a problem and I say 3/5 of or 3/5 times, it's the same exact question. Remember? Of means multiply. Say that. You didn't say that. Try it again. Of means multiply. Of means multiply. Keep that in your head, guys, okay? All right. 8. So 3/4 of 8. Multiply by the top, divide by the bottom, see if you can find your answer. What is 3/4 of 8? 3/4 of 8. 8 times 3 is 24. Divided by 4 is 6. And let's check just to make sure. 8 divided by 4 is 2, times 3 is 6. That means we did it right. Let's try the next one. What is 3/4 of 20? What is 3/4 of 20? So 3/4 of 20, multiply by the top. 20 divided by 3 is 60. I'm sorry, multiply by 3 is 60. Divided by 4 is what? 15. You should have had 15. And I'm going to check it the opposite way just to make sure. So 20 divided by 4 is 5. Times 3 is 15. Fill in the rest of this chart. What are the next 2 answers that you will use? All right, you should have done the next 2 problems on your own. I'm going to do the opposite for these. Multiplying big numbers I don't like. I'm not going to use a huge giant number, so I'm going to divide by the bottom first. 16 divided by 4 is 4, times 3 is 12. 28 divided by 4 is 7, times 3 is 21. Your 2 answers should have been 12 and 21. If you did those, awesome. If you didn't, go rewatch this portion, the last portion of the video. See if you can see where you made your mistake. Remember, divide by the bottom, multiply by the top. It doesn't matter which order you do it in. All right? All right, let's look at problem 5. It says, Stella had a carton of 12 eggs. She used 4/6 of the eggs to bake loaves of bread for the bake sale. How many eggs are in 1/6 of a carton? All right, so a carton is 12. I need to know how many eggs 1/6 is. So 12 times 1, 12, divided by 6 is 2. So 1/6 would be 2, right? How many eggs did she use for the bread? Well, she used 4/6. So I could do 12 times 4 divided by 6, right? Let's see. 12 times 4 is 48. Divided by 6 is 8. But now let's think about this for a second. What do you notice about 1/6 and 4/6? 1 times what equals 4/6? 2 times what equals 8? So that means we're probably right. It says write a multiplication number model for the problem. You would have to write 4/6. Remember, of means multiply, times 12 equals 8. That's your multiplication number model for this problem. All right, last question of the day. It says, a shoe store had 30 pairs of tennis shoes in stock. 1 week they had a sale and sold 8/10. Okay, so they started with 30 and they sold 8/10. How many pairs of tennis shoes did they sell that week? I want you to start by writing your number model. What multiplication number model should we use? For your number model, you actually would do 8/10 times 30 equals S. That's what I would use because it's 8/10 of my shoes. Notice 8/10 of the shoes. So what's my total for the shoes? 30. In my problem right here, it tells you what you're going to write basically. All right, 8/10 of 30. I'm going to do 30 divided by 10, which is 3, times 8, which is 24. So 8/10 of 30 would be 24. All right, this is probably one of the easiest concepts. Try your best. You know how to do these. When in doubt, multiply straight across and then divide when you're done. That is fine. If you have questions, please rewatch the video. Reach out to me. All right, have a great day, guys, and I will see you later. Bye.